This tutorial is going to go through how to solve inequalities. So it's very similar to solving equations, except you have to deal with the inequality, and you'll also have to represent your solution on a number line. What I mean by it's similar to equations is that you follow the same basic rules, and of course always following order of operations. So in this case, both of my variables are on the same side, so all I have to do is combine them, and negative 1p and negative 4p combine to be negative 5p is greater than negative 10. In order to get that p by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 5. And you should have learned at some point that whenever I multiply or divide an inequality by a negative value, it causes my inequality to change direction. So instead of being greater than, it's now less than. Negative 10 divided by negative 5 is going to be positive 2. So there is my inequality, and then I'm going to represent it on my number line over here. Remember that I have to decide whether it's an open or a closed-in circle, and since this is just less than, it's not less than or equal to, it's going to be an open circle around the value of 2, and then my arrow to the left since it's less than. Second example, again, following correct order of operations, so I'm going to distribute my negative 4. So negative 4 times 6x is going to be negative 24x. Negative 4 times 7 is going to be negative 28, greater than or equal to 122. I'm going to combine like terms, so my 6 and my negative 28 are going to combine to be negative 22. And then I'm going to get this by itself by adding 22 to both sides. Negative 24x is greater than or equal to 144. And then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 24. Again, remember that when I divide by a negative, it changes the value of my inequality. So instead of being greater than or equal to, now it becomes less than or equal to. And 144 divided by negative 24 is going to be negative 6. So there is my inequality, and again, representing that on the number line. Since it is less than or equal to, I'm going to go ahead and use a closed circle, and then it's less than, so my arrow is going to go to the left. Continuing, following order of operations, I'm going to distribute my 7, so 7x minus 14. Combine like terms, I've got positive 6x minus 14, and then I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. I get negative 7x, it's less than negative 14. Divide both sides by negative 7. Switch the order direction of my inequality, and it becomes x is greater than 2. For my number line, since it's not equal to, it's just greater than, it's an open circle around 2 and an arrow to the right. Distributing my negative 6 and then distributing my 7, I get negative 6. Sorry, that should be a minus. Negative 6 minus 42k plus 7 plus 42k less than or equal to negative 2. Combine like terms on the same side. I've got negative 6 and positive 7 that make 1, and then both of these will cancel each other out, so I've got 1 is less than or equal to negative 2. Now think about that. Is it true that 1 is less than or equal to negative 2? It's not. On my number line, if I have 0, here's 1, here's negative 2. Is 1 less than negative 2? No. So in this case, I have no solution. Distributing my negative 2 and then my 6 on the right-hand side, I get negative 10 minus 12n is less than 48 minus 12n. I'm going to combine my like terms. I'm going to add 10 to both sides. Negative 12n is less than 58 minus 12n. Add 12n to both sides. Add 12n to both sides. 0 is less than 58. Now, since this is a true statement, it is true that 0 is less than 58, my answer is all real real is 1L. All real numbers. And what that means is any real number that I plug in here will create a true statement. Any real number that I plug in here, I could pick 2 and it will work. The left side is going to be less than the right side. If I pick 17, it's going to work. If I pick negative 8, it will work. Any real number that I choose to put in there will work. We can also use the symbol for all real numbers, which just is basically a capital R with an extra little line on it. And then to represent this on a number line, we would draw our number line and then just show that every number is included.